Your dermatologist will never tell you this. And the billion-dollar skincare companies, they are praying you never find out. Because in Japanese medicine, we have known for over 400 years that one single spoon of turmeric stirred into one small cup of yogurt can do what no cream on a department store shelf can do. And it may already be sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now. The women of our mountain villages have used this ritual for centuries. Women in their 80s and 90s with skin softer and clearer than women half their age in the West. No fillers, no lasers, no needles. And here is the hard part to hear. You've probably been using turmeric wrong for years. It sounds too simple to be true. One spoon, one cup of yogurt, no prescription, no serum. But in a moment, I will show you exactly what happens in the first 10 minutes after you apply it the Japanese way. The dullness in your cheeks, the dark spots that appeared after 50, the fine lines around your eyes, the dryness no moisturizer fixes, the sagging along your jaw. All of it begins to shift. This one ritual, 10 cents, 30 seconds, could change the face you see in the mirror tomorrow morning. Stay with me. The mistake most people make is in the very first step. Now, here's what 99% of women over 50 do not understand about their own skin. The skin you see in the mirror is not the problem. The skin you see is only the surface. It is the last place where the trouble shows itself, and it is the last place where the healing begins. Underneath your face, just below the surface you can touch, there is a quiet layer of inflammation. It has been sitting there for 20, 30, 40 years. Every late night, every sugar craving, every cream with chemicals you could not pronounce, every stress your body had nowhere to put. All of it settled into that layer, and slowly the skin above it lost its light. Think of it like a lantern with smoke trapped inside the glass. The flame is still burning. The lantern is not broken, but you cannot see the light anymore because the smoke has built up over the years. Western dermatology treats the glass. They polish it, they bleach it, they inject under it, but none of them clear the smoke. That is why the brightness keeps fading back. That is why every cream stops working after a few weeks. They are working on the wrong layer. Turmeric, the way my grandmother taught me, does something different. The active compound in turmeric is called curcumin. It is one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatories on the planet, stronger than ibuprofen in some studies. But curcumin on its own does not absorb into the skin. It sits on top, stains the skin yellow, and washes away. This is where yogurt enters. Yogurt contains fat and lactic acid. The fat carries the curcumin down through the surface layer. The lactic acid gently lifts the dead skin out of the way so the curcumin can reach the inflamed layer underneath. Together, they reach the smoke inside the lantern. Alone, neither one can. Here is the part the elders in my village know that the West has forgotten. Every year this goes unattended, the inflammation under the skin builds a little more. The body does not announce it. It just slowly stops sending the signals that keep the skin plump and bright. The longer it sits, the harder the body has to work to find its way back. This is the kind of thing that does not look serious in your 50s and then becomes the face you do not recognize in your 70s. But before I show you exactly how to mix it, I want to tell you about one of the women who came to me. Her name was Margaret. She was 64, from Phoenix, Arizona, a retired school teacher. She had taught second grade for 37 years, and she still kept a photograph of her last class on the wall of her kitchen. She came to my home in O'Hara on a trip she had saved for almost 10 years. And on the second evening, sitting at my low table, she told me she had stopped going to her grandchildren's school events. Not because she did not love them, because she could not bear the photographs afterward, the way her face looked next to the other grandmothers. She had spent close to $8,000 over the years. Creams, peels, a laser treatment that left her red for 3 weeks. 2 different dermatologists. Nothing had held. I gave her the same ritual I'm about to give you. 3 nights a week. Nothing else changed in her routine. She stayed with me for 9 more days before flying home. By the 4th morning, she stopped me in the hallway and held my hands. She said her cheeks felt warm and alive for the first time in 15 years. By day 7, the brown spot on her left temple, the one she had hidden under her hair for a decade, had faded by half. By the time she flew back to Phoenix, the woman in her passport photo and the woman standing in front of me were not the same person. 6 months later, she sent me a photograph from her granddaughter's piano recital. She was in the front row, smiling at the camera, no hand covering half her face. Now I will give you the same thing I gave Margaret. Every step, the right method, the way my grandmother taught me at 12 years old. Step 1. You will need 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric, the deep orange kind, not the pale yellow powder you find in old cabinets. If it has been sitting in your cupboard for more than a year, throw it out and buy a fresh jar. Curcumin loses its strength after about 12 months. Fresh turmeric is the difference between a ritual that works and a ritual that stains your sink for nothing. Step 2, take 2 tablespoons of plain whole milk yogurt, not low fat, not flavored, not Greek strained, which is too thick to spread evenly. Plain whole milk yogurt at room temperature. The fat in the yogurt is what carries the curcumin into your skin. Skim yogurt cannot do this. This is the mistake most women make. Step 3, add a 1/4 teaspoon of raw honey. Honey is humectant. It pulls moisture from the air into your skin while the turmeric does its work underneath. In our village, we use honey from the cedar forest, but any raw, unfiltered honey from your grocery store will work. Step 4. Stir these 3 together in a small wooden or ceramic bowl with a wooden spoon. Never metal. Metal reacts with the curcumin and weakens it. This is one of the oldest rules in our tradition, and modern science has now confirmed it. Stir slowly for 1 full minute until the color is even, the consistency of soft custard. Step 5. Wash your face with warm water. No soap. Pat dry. Your skin must be slightly damp when the mask goes on. Damp skin lets the lactic acid in the yogurt activate properly. Step 6. With your clean fingertips, apply the mixture in an upward circular motion. Start at the jaw and move up toward the forehead. Always upward, never down. This is not vanity. This is direction of lymph flow. Cover everything except the skin directly under your eyes, which is too thin. Step 7. Leave it on for exactly 10 minutes. Not 15, not 20. 10. Curcumin is most active in the first 10 minutes after contact with skin. After that, it begins to stain the skin yellow without adding benefit. Set a timer. This matters. Step 8. Rinse with cool water in small circular motions. The graininess of the turmeric will gently exfoliate as you remove it. Do not scrub. Let the water and the gentle motion do the work. Pat dry with a soft white cloth. That is the entire ritual. 3 nights a week. No more. The skin needs the days in between to integrate what the mask has done. Now, here is what the women who do this correctly tell me afterward. By the next morning, they say their face feels softer to the touch when they wash it, the way skin felt in their 30s. By the 3rd night, the puffiness around the eyes in the morning is noticeably less. By the 2nd week, the dullness across the cheeks lifts and they catch their own reflection in a window and pause. By the 4th week, the dark spots have not vanished, but they have softened at the edges, like a watercolor that has been gently washed with clean water. This is the rhythm of real healing. Slow at first, then unmistakable. Now, what I have just given you is real. It will quiet what you see in the mirror within weeks. For many of you, that is enough. Take it, use it, go with my blessing. But if you have ever wondered why this showed up at all, why the dullness, the dark spots, the dryness, why your face changed so much after 50 when nothing else in your life did, stay with me for 2 more minutes. This is what I tell the women who sit across from me at my low table. What I have noticed over 60 years of caring for the women of my village is that the skin is the last place the body asks for help. By the time the face shows it, the trouble has already been somewhere else for years. And the place I see it begin almost every time is the gut. The skin and the gut speak to each other constantly. When the gut is inflamed, the messages it sends out into the body raise inflammation everywhere, including under the skin. The dullness, the dark spots, the slow loss of brightness, these are not skin problems. They are gut messages written on the face. The gut needs three things to settle the inflammation it sends into the rest of the body: good living bacteria, the fiber those bacteria feed on, and the healing compounds those bacteria make once they are fed properly. When all three are present every day, the gut quiets. When the gut quiets, the messages to the skin change. And when the messages change, the face begins to hold the work of the turmeric mask instead of slowly losing it again. In our tradition, the one drink that delivers all three at once is kombucha. The women in my village have brewed it in clay jars in their kitchens for as long as anyone can remember. This is what I give my patients alongside the turmeric ritual, and these are the ones who get the deepest and longest lasting changes in their skin. I make my own kombucha at home because I have the time and the knowledge, but for everyone watching online who can't brew their own, I give BoochBod Kombucha Gummies. The link is in the description, or you can search BoochBod Kombucha Gummies on Amazon. 2 gummies a day in the morning with the same quiet attention you bring to the mask at night. Margaret, the woman from Phoenix, took the gummies with her on the plane home. 6 months later, in that photograph from her granddaughter's recital, the brightness in her face was not just from the mask. It was the gut quieting underneath, the lantern finally clear. Picture her again, front row at the piano recital, camera flash, smiling with her hands folded in her lap, not hiding, not turning her head. That same road is open to you, not as a promise, as a possibility. The body at 60 and 70 and 80 still knows how to do this work. It has been waiting all these years to be given what it needs. It is never too late. Your face is still listening. If this has reached you, subscribe so I can keep finding you. Share it with one woman over 50 who needs it, and leave me a comment below. I read every single one on this channel. Until next time.